You know, every legend leaves behind stories. Some loud, some celebrated, some polished by the spotlight. But then, there are the stories that stay hidden. Stories whispered in old kitchens, told by men with shaking hands, and protected by people who swore the world wasn't ready yet. Tonight, we're opening one of those stories, because there was something Elvis Presley carried with him through tours, through fame, through the final long nights at Graceland. A secret so heavy that even his closest friends said, if the world knew this, they'd see Elvis differently. And before we go any further, if you love untold memories from Elvis's life, just tap like and subscribe. It keeps these stories alive for everyone who remembers the golden days of American music. Now, let's begin. It was the winter of 1976. Cold winds slipping through the trees outside Graceland. Elvis wasn't sleeping much anymore. The weight on his shoulders was heavier than the tours, heavier than the lights, heavier than the expectations of an entire world. Charlie Hodge, one of his closest friends, said there were nights Elvis would sit alone in the meditation garden long after everyone else was asleep. Charlie, he whispered once, "I'm scared the world will find out who I really am." Charlie laughed at first. "You're Elvis Presley. The world loves you." But Elvis didn't smile. He just shook his head. "You don't understand? There's something I never told anyone." For almost a year, Elvis had been receiving letters from a woman in Mississippi, a woman who claimed she knew, a truth that could shake his legacy. At first, Elvis ignored them, but then something happened that changed everything. One night, a small brown package arrived at Graceland. No return address. Inside, a single photograph, a baby, wrapped in a blanket. On the back, only 4 words. "You need to know." Charlie said Elvis stared at that picture for almost 10 minutes, completely silent, and then whispered, "Lord help me. She finally found me." It was the winter of 1976. For almost a year, Elvis had been receiving letters. For almost a year, Elvis had been receiving letters, and then Lily Carter appeared at Graceland. Now, before we go deeper, let me ask you something. If someone appeared from your past with a secret, one powerful enough to change everything you ever believed, would you open that door? Or would you walk away? Tell me in the comments. Because what Elvis did next, it wasn't what a superstar would do. It was what a man would do. Elvis asked Joe Esposito to find the woman quietly. No press, no police, no drama. 2 days later, she was brought to Graceland through the back entrance. Nervous, shaking, clutching a small purse like it held her entire life. Her name was Lily Carter, a singer from Tupelo, someone Elvis knew before fame, before Hollywood, before the world turned him into something larger than life. Lily wasn't there for money. She wasn't there for attention. She wasn't even there for forgiveness. She was there because of the photograph. "Elvis," she said, her voice trembling, "before you were the king, before the world took you, we were 2 scared kids who didn't know what the future would bring." Elvis looked at her, confused. "Lily, what are you saying?" She opened her purse and placed a folded document on the table. "A birth certificate," Lily whispered. "I'm not asking you to claim anything. I'm not asking you to claim anything. I just thought you deserved the truth. I never wanted to ruin your life." Elvis's hands trembled as he unfolded the paper. The child's name was Matthew Carter, born in 1955. The year Elvis's career exploded. The year life swept him away before he even knew who he was supposed to be. Charlie said Elvis fell into a chair, silent, pale, as if the whole world was suddenly too loud. After nearly a full minute, Elvis whispered, "Is he mine?" Lily's eyes filled with tears. "He might be. I raised him alone because I didn't want to burden you. I didn't want Matthew to grow up feeling unwanted. But now he's older, and he keeps asking about his father." Elvis didn't speak. He just wiped his face, and Lily said something that stayed with him until the day he died. "I never told him you were Elvis Presley. I told him his father was a good man who lost his way." That night, Elvis didn't sleep. He walked the halls of Graceland, sometimes breathing heavy, sometimes whispering prayers, sometimes staring at the photo of the little boy with the same dark hair he had as a child. A week later, Elvis asked Joe to arrange a meeting, not in public, not at the mansion, but quietly, in a small park outside Memphis, right by the river where Elvis used to walk as a teenager. Matthew arrived with his baseball glove in hand, thinking he was meeting his mother's old friend. And Elvis, for the first time in years, felt nervous. The two sat on a bench, and Elvis tried to speak, but Matthew asked the first question. "Sir, how did you know my mom?" Elvis smiled softly. She knew me before I became who I am today." Matthew nodded slowly, and then Elvis did something unexpected, something only those close to him understood. He got down on one knee, looked the boy in the eyes, and said, "You're going to be someone special, kid. Don't ever doubt that." He didn't say the words he wanted to. Not yet. Not then. Not until he was sure. But when Lily later asked him what he thought, Elvis answered with only 4 words. "Lord, he's my boy." From that moment, Elvis made a promise to himself. He would protect Matthew. He would watch over him. And when the time was right, he would tell the world the truth. But fate had other plans. Elvis passed away in August of 1977. Before that moment ever came, Charlie Hodge later admitted, Elvis had secrets he planned to reveal one day. But time ran out on him. Lily kept quiet. Matthew grew up. And the truth faded into whispers. Until now. Because in 2023, a letter written by Elvis, sealed, never opened, was discovered in a private collection. Inside was a single sentence. "To the boy who carries my smile, I hope one day you understand why I stayed silent." And that was the secret Elvis carried. A secret about love, regret, and the family he never got the chance to know.